So, I was watching this Joe Rogan podcast, and I forget the guest that was on this particular show's name, but they were talking about depression, and it was a British guy, and I, British accents actually kind of annoy me. They annoy me a lot, unless it's like Milo Yiannopoulos or, you know, uh, Brexit dude or whatever, you know what I mean? Like, unless it's like a conservative Brit. For some reason, just like average British people and liberal British people really get on my nerves. They have like this like inquisitive tone about their voices, and like I don't hate these people or anything, but I'm just saying this is just like a side tangent. Like British people's accents tend to get on my nerves. Um, Nigel Farage is who I was trying to think of. Um, but I was watching this podcast, and they were talking about depression, and they were talking about antidepressants, and this is something that I've thought for a while, and I've experimented. Had I've been prescribed every antidepressant under the sun, and none of them worked for me. None of them. I'm taking Celexa right now. Um, I'm hoping to get off of that very soon, but I'm taking Celexa right now, and that's the closest of anything that has worked for me. And I mean, I'm not saying that as like a suggestion because just because Celexa works better for me than any other drug doesn't mean that that's the same for you, because you know everyone's brain chemistry is different, and whenever a doctor is prescribing you something, he's just like shooting into the dark. There's no way of knowing unless you like test people's brain levels of serotonin and dopamine and all kinds of factors. There would be all kinds of factors to take into consideration if you were going to try to make a custom antidepressant for someone to best suit their brain chemistry. There would be so many factors. There would be factors that we don't even understand yet because we don't fully understand the human brain. So when these doctors are scribbling away on their prescription pads, trying to find something that'll work for you, they're fucking with your brain chemistry unbelievably, and it really messes some people up. One of my best friend's mothers had serotonin syndrome from the drugs that she was prescribed, and the doctor was giving her these drugs that caused serotonin syndrome, and she has really battled with depression uh, for a long time, and I'm very good friends with her as well. And when we do talk, she seems like she's doing much much better. But it's been quite a while since she's been on these drugs, and you know, I thought it was interesting. What the guy on the podcast was saying is, we could, prescribe you something and see what happens, and it might make you suicidal, and it might make you manic, and it might cause more problems than it prevents. But we could buy you a cow, and and that really made sense to me, like that connection and that wanting someone or something to take care of and to feel appreciated and to feel needed. That's very important. It doesn't matter the means that you go through to get that end. It's it's a vital part of being a human being. We need to feel appreciated. We need to feel loved. We need to feel like someone needs us to be here, because you know I've never felt like my family didn't want me here, but I have definitely felt like they didn't need me here. You know, and at the see, I thought that since I was such a piece of shit, how could anyone need me? You know what I'm saying? But what they needed was for me to not be a piece of shit. You know, and it cures your confidence level, and it cures your ills. I'm not saying to do this for other people. What I'm saying is to be the best you can be. You know what I'm saying? Not for the army, not for God, not for your mother or your father or your girlfriend. Do this for you because you deserve to have the best life possible. And, I've said it many times on here, so I'll say it again. I wish everyone the absolute best. I want nothing but the tip tops for everyone. I wish that, I wish that equality was possible, and that the whole world could have $100 billion and Jeff Bezos would just feel like another dude. But, since that's not possible, I wish for your absolute best in emotional health. And I think the best thing you can do to get out of your depression is to be around other people. There's a big difference between doing something for yourself and isolating. And I think a lot of people get that confused. I know I did. I went to rehab 4 times. And I think what I really didn't understand is when they were telling me I had to do this for myself, that didn't mean I had to depend on myself. It meant that no one else is going to fix this for me. So I think that it's vitally important that you have a support system and you have people that care about you and that love you and that will keep you accountable and that will make you feel appreciated and loved and needed. I spent the first 25 years of my life just miserable, and I hated myself. And on my best days, I said in a blog, I don't know if I'll be able to directly quote this blog, but in a blog I wrote the other day, I said that on my best days, I would eat away at my self-value and my self-worth and devalue everything around me. So on my best days, I would just jokingly, like knock on myself and just devalue everything around me. Everything was stupid. I remember being a 5-year-old kid and going to birthday parties and stuff and being like, why are all these kids so excited? This is so fucking boring and stupid. I didn't connect with that joy. And I think that joy was stolen from me at a very young age. But I also think it had a lot to do with my attitude. And I think that the human brain is capable of taking a lot of trauma without giving up a good attitude. It's possible. It took me a long time to figure it out. And I'm an individual that has experienced quite a bit of trauma, but remaining positive through the hard times and through the not giving up is the most important thing. If you can keep that mindset of you can do anything, you will be able to. And don't stay in bed all day. Take a shower. You'll feel better. I know that sounds like corny, stupid advice, but it's the truth. And, I love you guys, and I want you to do great. And, I always forget to say, please comment and, tell me how lame this was.